Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Untitled Tarot back at you again with another video. I would like to thank each and every one of you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating to my channel. I really do appreciate all the love and all the support. And thank you for those of you who've been booking readings with me. It is truly appreciated, okay? So guys, your girl's Patreon channel is up and running. So if you would like to support your girl, you'll be able to find a link in the description box below. I do post 2 exclusive videos per week, so go check it out if you feel called to. Now, before we dive in, if you've been loving the energy here, I have created a collection of spiritual ebooks and printable workbooks to help you along your journey. From manifestation rituals to love journal prompts, these tools are designed to help you align, heal, and rise. You'll be able to find a link in the description box below or on my Patreon channel under the shop tab. So as you guys could tell by the title of this video is going to be about what's your reputation. So pile number 1, you're going to be the baseball eraser. Pile number 2, you're going to be the football eraser. And pile number 3, you're going to be the soccer ball eraser. So again, pile number 1, baseball eraser. Pile number 2, football eraser. And pile number 3, soccer eraser. So pause this video if you must and meditate on the card or the eraser that you feel most drawn to. You'll be able to find your timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you guys at your pile. Hi Pawan! Welcome to my channel. This is Talbity Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pile number 1, you picked the ball eraser, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So my pile number 1, what's your reputation? What's your reputation, pile number 1? What's your reputation? We have the 9 of Pentacles. You have the reputation of being like high maintenance, having high standards for yourself, for being self-sufficient, independent. You are the eligible bachelor or bachelorette, okay? With the 9 of Pentacles, you are the standard. You do have that reputation of like being someone who is methodical, someone who expects like the best of the best, okay? Because you operate at a higher level than most people around you. You have the reputation of being like sure of yourself, okay? Confident, self-assured. Yeah, like I'm getting like expensive, luxurious energy. So what's your reputation? We have the 2 of Pentacles. You have the reputation of being somebody who has the capability of juggling multiple responsibilities at once. Okay, so you're always juggling multiple things. Okay, you are someone who's always on the go, who's always seemed to be active. What's your reputation? We have the 3 of Wands. Yeah, you see, a go-getter, initiator, self-starter, okay, a pioneer. You do have the reputation of being a trailblazer. Okay, the person within your friend group or your family or your community to venture into the unknown, to do things differently, to explore different avenues with the 3 of Wands, okay? So what's your reputation? We have the 5 of Cups. You might have the reputation of being a heartbreaker, okay? Because I'm getting like 5 of Cups energy, like regretful, like Missing out on chances, opportunities, disappointment. Okay, you do have the reputation of, like, disappointing others, and not in a negative way, but it's just like you may not live to people's expectations of you. Okay, and it could be disappointing for certain people. You do have the reputation of being very spiritual. Okay, and you have this inner knowing with the high priestess. You could be a Cancer here, don't have to be, but you definitely have the reputation of being like a very discerning. Okay, having this inner knowing. You know more than you let on. You see through the lies and the illusions. What's your reputation? We have the King of Swords. So you do have the reputation of being truthful in your communications with the King of Swords. You're extremely knowledgeable, wise beyond your years. And like, you also have the reputation of like having great pattern recognition capabilities. So like I said, with the High Priestess and the King of Swords, it's really hard for people to fool you. You see things, you clock things, micro expression, certain things that people do that they tell on themselves, and you notice these things. Okay, so what's your reputation? We have the Hermit, Virgo energy. So you have the reputation of being someone who is calm, cool, and collected under pressure. You're very knowledgeable with the Hermit card. You're self-sufficient. Nine of Pentacles is Virgo energy. So with the Hermit energy, what I'm getting here, you have the reputation of being someone who prefers to be on your own, or you walk alone. Nine of Pentacles is that energy, someone who's self-sufficient, independent, live that life of luxury, but it's also someone who may not really enjoy being around multiple people. You're very exclusive. You do have that reputation of being exclusive, especially with the Hermit card and Nine of Pentacles, with your energy, with your time, with your resources. Very picky. Okay, I'm getting that energy with the Hermit card. Not everybody could be around you. So what's your reputation? We have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, you do have the reputation of being independent, reliable, trustworthy. You have the reputation of being extremely competent, capable. So you might be the go-to person for certain things, or you might be, I don't know why I'm getting like knowledge check, but you're the type of person that people go after or seek their counsel because you are extremely knowledgeable here. So what's your reputation? What's your reputation? We have the Nine of Swords. Ooh, you do have the reputation of being pressure. Like, when you walk into a room, everybody adjusts their posture. Like, people, um, like, they adjust the way that they operate, how they move with the Nine of Swords. Okay, like, you are the talk of the town. You do have that reputation, but like, with the Nine of Swords, people take to you or worry about your opinion of them. Okay, like, you do have that reputation of like making people feel some type of way about themselves. Not that you go out of your way to do that, it's just that your presence triggers people's insecurities. You do have that reputation with the Nine of Swords. Okay, so what's your reputation? What's your reputation? We have the Ace of Swords. Okay, you do have the reputation of being someone who is sharp, okay, analytic, who sees things clearly, okay, mentally agile with the Ace of Swords. You speak the truth, you're honest in your dealings. You do have that reputation with the Ace of Swords. Like, you are someone who brings truth and clarity in every situation. Okay, so what's your reputation? Ooh, Ten of Pentacles. This is legacy building, but this is also competence, long-term stability, abundance. You do have that reputation. No matter what happens to you in life, let's say if you stumble and fall, and then things like, you lose your fortune, you lose your money, or you lose some sort of like stability, you know how to build it right back up, and 10 times better than it initially was before, with the Ten of Pentacles. And that's the reputation that you have. Okay, so we have the reputation of being knowledgeable, like someone who is well traveled, or you do have the reputation of being, yeah, like cultured. You know a lot about different cultures. You're not somebody who schemes on the surface. You dive deep into, you immerse yourself in people's culture, you immerse yourself into knowledge. So you're someone who has a lot of experience. We have the Four of Swords. So You do have the reputation of somebody who's calm, cool, and collected under pressure. Someone who is like composed in stressful situation. You don't take things or people too seriously. You do have that reputation of like learning how to go with the flow of life. Okay. So what's your reputation? Ooh, we have the Six of Wands. We have notoriety, self-respect, public recognition. So you do have the reputation of being like well known or someone of high caliber. That's your reputation. Like people know if they're going to step to you with the Nine of Pentacles, Six of Wands energy, Ten of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, they better come to you, come correct, okay? Because you have the reputation of like being excellent at what you do, like you always go above and beyond. That's what I'm getting here. Okay. So what's your reputation? What's your reputation? We have the Chariot. Yeah, structured and disciplined, strong will, determined. This is what I'm getting here with this energy, with the Chariot. Okay. Structured, disciplined, strong will, determined, willing to take the lead. Okay. You could be a Cancer here, or you could be like a cardinal sign. So Libra, Aries, or Capricorn, any of those signs, but we have Cancer here. You just have those characteristics, but you're someone who get things done. You are a go-getter. You do have that reputation, okay? So what's your reputation? We have, wow, you see, Justice, Libra. Okay, so another cardinal sign. So with the Justice card, you do have the reputation of being somebody who operates in high integrity. You have like, you know, a great moral compass with the Justice card. You do have the reputation of being fair in your dealings, the way that you operate, okay? You operate with high integrity. You don't do things that are not in alignment with you, right? Or in alignment with your values. So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. We have the Knight of Wands. So you have the reputation of being bold, being courageous, okay? Somebody who is also confident. This is what I'm getting here. You take calculative risk here. You do have that reputation. So what's your reputation? We have the Nine of Wands. Okay, so you do have the reputation of being someone who stand your ground. You're not easily rattled. Okay, this is like the wounded warrior, but you're still a warrior even if you are wounded. Like you have stamina, you have endurance capabilities, you're strong minded and physically strong. You do have that reputation of being able to withstand the storm. So you may have gone through obstacles and challenges in life and you're still standing, you're still persevering, you're still pushing. You do have that reputation. Some people, like if they were in your situation, they would have given up by now, but you are still pushing, you're still persevering, you're still moving forward, and people are applauding you for that, okay? So we have 999. Maybe you see this number often. You do have the reputation with the Fool card of being somebody who walks to the beat of your own drums, okay? You are someone who takes the lead in your life, okay? You are eccentric. You're not somebody who follows what people say, or you're like unpredictable as well, like people trying to pin you down or categorize you, but they can't, okay? So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. You have the reputation of being someone who is extremely helpful, someone who's a great team player with the Three of Pentacles, collaborative, but you're also someone who is a woman or a man of your word with the Three of Pentacles. You are also someone who's easy to work with because the Three of Pentacles is like an apprentice type of energy, but also someone who is mastering their craft. So what's your reputation? We have the Page of Swords, okay? You do have the reputation of being extremely observant with the Page of Swords. You know how to read people, like I said, micro expression. You're really good at really reading people or clocking people's like what they do, what they say, what they're not saying. You're really good at that. What's your reputation? We have the King of Cups. So you do have the reputation of being emotionally steady, emotionally intelligent, somebody who's emotionally safe, mostly wise, okay? You have a big heart. You do have that reputation, but you're also someone who does not wear your heart on your sleeve. You're very composed, emotionally mature. You do have that reputation. What's your reputation? What's your reputation? We have the death card, okay? Powerful energy. You're resilient. You do have that reputation with the death card. Transformative, capable. You also have the reputation of being like slightly intimidating and magnetic, irresistible. I'm getting that energy like you're irresistible. People are drawn to your energy. You're definitely magnetic here. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So you do have the reputation of being somebody who is very patient, somebody who is invested in everything that you do. You put your all into it, okay? You're not flighty or you don't skim to the surface. When you do something, you dive deep into it, like I said earlier, and you take your time to cultivate your seeds, like you cultivate your whatever that you plant, you cultivate it, you put in the time, the energy, the resources to see it come to fruition. You do have that reputation, okay? So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. Wow, the Ten of Pentacles again. Maybe you are a consultant or something like that, or maybe you work in like, yeah, maybe like consultant for businesses or something like that. You help businesses like grow, but you do have the reputation of being somebody who is building a solid foundation for yourself, building a legacy, somebody who's financially stable, or somebody who has the maddest touch, somebody who has the capability of creating wealth for yourself out of your own merit. Some of you could be millionaires here, or you are getting there, like you're close to becoming a millionaire, and you might be like just a quiet millionaire, not somebody who's flashy or who wears like, you know, bunch of like name brand luxurious item. You live a life of luxury because you are able to maintain that lifestyle, but you may not be somebody who's flashy, right? You just may be somebody who is well off. Ten of Pentacles here twice and the Nine of Pentacles, and you live that life of luxury. So you might be somebody who could go, you know, during the day, you could go out to eat whenever you want. You don't have to clock in or out. Like you live life on your own terms. You may have that like reputation of being able to do that for yourself. Okay, and maybe you were able to maintain this lifestyle while you're taking care of your children, like, you know, because the King of Pentacles can represent a father or like a parent, a working parent. So you might even be a working parent that is giving a life of luxury to your children or to your child. Okay, so that's all I have for you, my pal number one. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video, pal number one. Bye. Hi, pal two. Welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So, my pal number two, you picked the football eraser, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So, my pal number two, what's your reputation? What's your reputation? What's your reputation, pal number two? We have the King of Pentacles. You'll be an earth sign. So Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, don't have to be. Okay. So I'm gonna put the King of Pentacles. You have the reputation of being capable, somebody who is stable, reliable, trustworthy. Okay, you're extremely competent. You bring a lot of value to like the people around you, your family, your friends. Okay. So what's your reputation? Ooh, we have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands came off for pile number one as well. You definitely have the reputation of being a visionary, a go-getter, a trailblazer. You take initiative, okay? You take charge. You could be in a leadership position. If you're not in the leadership position, I'm gonna like you will be, because you have amazing leadership qualities. So what's your reputation? We have the Star. Okay. You are someone who is influential. You do have the reputation of being unique, authentic, definitely influential. People take to you, people follow your lead, listen to you. You're definitely innovative here. Okay, with the Aquarius energy. futuristic, and we are in the Aquarian age. That's why like AI is like booming and taking over, because AI is like literally taking over. Okay, some jobs are going to disappear in like 2030 with AI because of AI. So like it's like changing transition. So I feel like you may have the reputation of like moving forward or like being ahead of your time. Yeah, I'm gonna like in the energy of like being ahead of your time. Like people are like starting to catch up to what you were seeing like 10 years ago. Okay. So what's your reputation? We have justice. So you could definitely be an air sign as well, because we have two air signs, Libra, Aquarius. So you do have the reputation of somebody who is just and fair in your dealings, somebody who has high integrity, somebody who is truthful in everything that you do. You're very diplomatic. Okay. Yeah, like you might be the person that people go to when they need a mediator. Okay, just one second, guys. I'm trying to pick up that card. So what's your reputation? My pile number 2. What's your reputation? What's your reputation? We have the 3 of Cups. Yeah, you have the reputation of being a pleasure to be around. I'm getting like with the 3 of Cups, there is an energy of you being someone that people enjoy your company. Not only that, but they feel like you're someone who is like very friendly, open, amicable. So the energy is always positive around you. So what's your reputation? We have the Hermit, okay? Virgo energy. Hermit came out, like Virgo came out for pile number 1 as well. So you're someone who is extremely helpful. With the Hermit card, you have a healing energy to you. You have the maddest touch, but you also have a healing touch. You might be a healer. Some of you could come from like a family of shaman or like medicine women or something like that. Spiritualist. I'm getting that with the Hermit card. You may come from that family. You may have the reputation of being someone who has the gift, but maybe you're not using it the same way that your ancestors used it, but you do have that gift. Maybe you, like, let's say if you're not a like old school medicine women or a shaman, you might be a doctor or a nurse. Okay, maybe this is how you are using your gifts, okay, through um modern medicine. That's what I'm getting here with the Hermit card. So what's your reputation? What's your reputation? We have the Death card. Okay, we have a lot of major arcanas for you. So you have a powerful presence. Okay, you're, when you walk into a room, your energy is felt. People turn around to see like, who's this person, like who's pal number 2, like who's that, like, you know, you do have that reputation of like changing the atmosphere of the room, shifting the energy, calling in, like you draw people in with your power. Okay, but you're a powerful individual with the Death card. Resilient, you do have that reputation, okay, of being capable. So what's your reputation? Just one card, please. My pile number 2. What's your reputation? Ooh, bounce. Okay, like what? We have like 5 major arcanas for you, my pal number 2. Like, yes, that's that powerful energy driven. You do have the reputation of being like a leader, a self-starter, initiator. You have like, you definitely have the, with these 2 cards, you have a very powerful presence. Okay, some of you, I'm getting like with this energy, you do have the reputation of being someone that people take seriously when you speak. When you say something, even if you don't have a leadership position, when you say something, people just take to you, they listen to you, they are drawn to your energy. Okay, so what's your reputation? We have the Hangman, like holy pile number 2, just major arcanas back to back for you. Like what? You do have the reputation of being someone who thinks outside the box. Okay, someone who sees things differently, somebody who brings in fresh new idea. You do have the reputation of being versatile, agile, flexible. Okay, somebody who's able to go with the flow of life, to adjust, to pivot. You're not strict or you're not rigid. Okay, so what's your reputation? What's your reputation? We have the Ten of Cups. You do have the reputation of being somebody who's family oriented. So like you could be a family man or a family woman. Like you, family is very important to you. Family is your core value. So some of you could be parents here, or even if you're not parents, maybe you take care of your elderly parents, or maybe you take care of like a family member that is ill, that is sick, or that is dependent on you. With the Ten of Cups, with family is very important to you. You do have that reputation. So what's your reputation? We have the Knight of Pentacles. You have the reputation of being methodical, practical, grounded, meticulous, dedicated, and you have the reputation of being extremely loyal. So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. What is your reputation? We have the King of Swords. Yeah, you have the reputation of being extremely knowledgeable, capable, a great communicator. Maybe you speak more than one language. You could be a polyglot. So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. What's your reputation? What's your reputation? We have the King of Cups. Okay. The King of Cups and the King of Swords came out for pile number one as well. So there could be a message for you in there in pile number one. But with the King of Cups, you do have the reputation of being someone who is emotionally sovereign, someone who is emotionally intelligent, street smart and book smart. You do have that reputation of being able to read the room, okay? And you also have the reputation of being somebody who can recalibrate the room that you're in. Okay. So what's your reputation, my pal number one? What's your reputation? We have the Knight of Wands. I said pal number one. There could definitely be a message for you in pal number one because you're pal number two. I'm so sorry. So with the Knight of Wands, you do have the reputation of being someone who is like bold, adventurous, courageous, okay, capable. You do have that reputation of being someone who's willing to put in the work, okay, but someone who is willing to put yourself out there and try new things. That's why you're bold and you're daring, okay? So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. What's your reputation? We have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, you do have the reputation of being somebody who's able to weather the storm, to go through like uncomfortable situations, but to still come out on top. With the Eight of Swords, this is what I'm getting here. You do have that reputation, and people like applaud you for your resilience, your mental resilience, okay? So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. What's your reputation? We have the Three of Pentacles. So my pal number two, you do have the reputation of being someone who is a great team player, collaborative. So it's easy and it's enjoyable to work with you, but also you are someone who is a woman or a man of your word. So people like believe you, trust that you could get things done. So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. What's your reputation? We have the Knight of Pentacles again. Yeah, you definitely do have the reputation of being meticulous, dedicated, okay? Someone who takes your time to get things done, but when you get it done, it's done in a methodical manner that is like in a position of high status, okay? Like you're very meticulous. So this is something that people enjoy or admire about you. So what's your reputation? We have the Strength card, Leo energy. And if you are a Leo and it's your birthday today, happy birthday, okay? So with the Strength card, you do have the reputation of being influential because we also have the Star. Opposites attract, okay? So you might be extremely magnetic because maybe you have a sun, Leo sun and Aquarius moon, or vice versa. So you're very magnetic, okay? Like opposite energies like attract. So like you do have that magnetic flair to you, magnetic vibe to you, and people just are drawn to you energy, okay? You are someone who has the reputation of being a sovereign individual, so it's not easy to control you or to pull the wool over your eyes. So what's your reputation? We have the King and the Queen of Swords now. Yeah, like you have the reputation of being mentally agile, mentally capable, okay? With the Queen of Swords, methodical. Wow, we have the Knight of Cups, charming, smooth operator, sympathetic. That's your reputation. Like, you're very sympathetic, like you're someone that people are drawn to. They love your energy, they love being around you, they love like interacting with you. What's your reputation? We have the Five of Pentacles, but it flipped out in reverse. So with the Five of Pentacles, you do have the reputation of being someone who has the capability of getting yourself out of sticky situation, out of your own merits. So you might be the type of individual that, you go through your struggles, because everybody has their own, struggles, sets of struggles, or like difficulties or obstacles. But the way that you come out on top, the way that you handle yourself, is what sets you apart. You are someone who has the ability to get yourself out of those situations out of your own merit. Like, you do the work, you put in the work. You are someone who is dedicated, and that's your reputation, because we have the Knight of Pentacles. That's dedication energy, because you're putting in the work day in, day out, even if it's boring, even if it's tedious, right? You still do it. You still get it done, because that's just who you are to your core. You're not the type of person that takes a shortcut, and that's your reputation. What's your reputation, my pal? Oh, we have the Chariot, Cancer energy. Some of you could be Cancer, Leo, Cuspers. Don't have to be, but you're driven, you're focused, you're methodical. You are a go-getter. You do have that reputation, okay? You have that drive and that stamina. What's your reputation? What's your reputation? What's your reputation? We have the Nine of Cups. You have the reputation of being someone who is like you are the wish fulfillment or the dream come true. You are someone that people look up to. You're the one that got away for a lot of people. Okay? So what's your reputation? But you also have the reputation of always getting your heart's desires. You always make your dreams come true. No matter what goals that you set out for yourself, you always make it happen. You do have that reputation with the Nine of Cups. So we have the Judgment card. So you do have the reputation of being extremely discerning. With the Judgment card, you could be a Capricorn here, don't have to be. But yeah, that's what I'm getting here. So you could be you could definitely be a cardinal sign, because we have all the cardinal signs here. Yeah, we have all the cardinal signs. So you could definitely be a cardinal sign, like a natural born leader, a self-starter, initiator. You do have that reputation, and extremely discerning. So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. Just one card. What's your reputation? Wow, we start with the King of Pentacles and we end with the King of Pentacles. Yeah, you do have the reputation of being capable, driven, somebody who's methodical, somebody who gets things done, somebody who's ambitious as well. You're definitely ambitious here, especially if like your cardinal sign. Yeah, you aiming for excellence. You go above and beyond. Okay, this is what I'm getting here. You do have that reputation of going above and beyond. You don't skim to the surface. You dive deep, just like pile number one. That's why I was kept on saying pile number one. Okay. So that's all I have for you, my pal number two. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number two. Bye. Hi, pal three. Welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So, my pal number three, you picked the soccer eraser, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So, my pal number three, what's your reputation? What's your reputation, pal number three? What's your reputation, pal number three? What's your reputation? What do we have here? We have the Page of Wands. Ooh, you're definitely influential, okay? You have the spark to you. You are someone who is fiery. You do have that reputation. You could be a fire sign. You could be a Leo, because we are in Leo season. And if you are a Leo and it's your birthday today, happy birthday, okay? So, yes, you have that drive, you have that passion, you have that zest for life. You do have that reputation of still walking around with joy in your heart. So what's your reputation? We have the Knight of Swords. You do have the reputation of being mentally agile, mentally quick, witty, okay, quick on your feet. Okay, you may have outsmarted a lot of people and they may be feeling some type of way about that. So what's your reputation? We have the Page of Wands again. Okay, yeah, exciting. I'm gonna like intoxicating, driven, okay, passionate, fiery. Like I keep getting like you have that reputation of being fiery. You could definitely be Latin here or Caribbean, even African. I'm getting like, I don't know, we all have that in common. We're hotheads. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Like, if you know, like, Caribbean people, Latin people, African people, yo, like, they could be hotheads, okay? Like, passionate when they speak or, when they express themselves. Especially if they grew up back home. Like, there is a difference, like obviously, like if you grew up in like in foreign land like Canada or US, you still have that Caribbean flair, but like there's a difference with someone who grew up in the Caribbeans and came to Canada or US later, like in their teens or their early adulthood, compared to someone who grew up in Canada but they were born back home, but they just grew up here, they came here at a young age. There's a difference. Like, they're fiery, they're more spicy, okay? The ones back home are more fiery, okay? What's your reputation? Maybe you are someone who came to another foreign land but at a later age, so you were a little bit older, maybe you were a teenager or young adult, so you still have that. Even though you live in a foreign land, you still have the Caribbean in you, the Latin in you, the African in you, so it's still like there. It's there, okay? The passion is there. So what's your reputation? We have the Hangman. Okay, you have the reputation of being someone who thinks outside the box, someone who sees things differently. Yeah, like that's why I feel like maybe you're a foreigner, even like Europeans. Okay, like the reason why I'm using like Africans, Caribbean, and Latins, because these are like, I grew up with multicultural people, so I'm used to those cultures, so I understand. So I could give examples, but it could even be Europeans, okay? So what's your reputation? What's your reputation? We have the Queen of Cups. With the Queen of Cups, you do have the reputation of being someone who is emotionally sovereign, okay? You have heart, you have guts, okay? This is what I'm getting here with the Queen of Cups. But you're also emotionally calm, cool, and collected. Like, so yeah, you are passionate when you speak, but you are in tune with your emotions. Like, you don't let your emotions get the best of you just because you're a passionate individual. Like, just the way that you express yourself doesn't mean that you're emotionally erratic, right? So I'm gonna, like, with the Queen of Cups, you have a very soft spot to you. You're very nurturing to others, so I feel like people like love your energy, love your passion, love your drive, because you feel like home. You do have the reputation of feeling like home for others. Okay, so what's your reputation? We have the Page of Swords. So with the Page of Swords, what I'm getting here is you are someone who speaks the truth. You do have the reputation of like speaking the truth, because we also have the Knight of Swords, right? So your communication style might be like slightly different from the people around you. Maybe you have an accent when you speak, or I kind of feel like some of you could also speak multiple languages, especially if you are a foreigner, because you speak your mother tongue and in the language of the land that you're in, right? So you definitely are bilingual, or you're polyglot, okay? So, but you do have the reputation of being somebody who's extremely observant, great communicator, well spoken as well. So what's your reputation? We have the Empress. You're the only one that got the Empress, pile number 3. Didn't I say that nurturing energy, that motherly energy? You do have that reputation. You could be a Libran or a Taurus, but you do have the reputation of being very feminine or luxurious. There's something very soothing, very feminine about you. with the Empress energy, you have the reputation of being abundant. Everything that you touch turned to gold. Okay, there is this energy of luxury about you. You're very attractive. Okay, ooh, we have the devil. With the Capricorn energy. Whew. You're resilient. You're powerful. You definitely have a powerful energy, but you're very attractive, sexy, sensual. There's this sensuality about you. Mm. People are intoxicated. You do have the reputation of being intoxicating. Like, I feel like you leave a trail of like heartbreak around you, like broken hearts around you with the devil energy. Yeah, I keep getting like the energy of like you being someone that people are drawn to. You do have the reputation of having like amazing work ethics, dedication. You work hard. Okay, with the devil. What's your reputation? What? We have the star. The star came out for pile number 2 as well, but like you have like you're influential. I'm getting like international. People may not know where you're from. Maybe you're mixed. Some of you could be mixed here, like biracial, or like let's say if you're like I'm getting like let's say if you're half Japanese and Nigerian, right? But you grew up in Japan. So it's like you grew up in Japan, you have Japanese mannerisms, but you are biracial. So then when you go to other land, like let's say if you move to Canada or the US, like people are confused as to where you're from because obviously yes, you're biracial, but like you don't look either Japanese or Nigerian. Like you mixture of both. So there's something about you that is unique with the star, like your physical appearance. You do have the reputation of being like the muse. Some people like they take you they you are influential in that sense where people use you as a muse. Okay, you're fascinating. That's what I'm getting here. Exotic. There's something exotic about you, especially with these 3 cards together. You might be like biracial, or even if you're not biracial, you don't look like the people from your land. So going back, if you're Japanese, you may not really look like typical Japanese or typical Nigerian. Like people don't even know that you're from the country. Like they probably think that you're a foreigner when you're like, no, I'm actually from this land. Like both my parents are like Japanese, and they may not believe you. Okay, there may be something, a flair that you have. Okay, so we have this, what do we have here? Ooh, we have the Hermit, Virgo energy. Virgo came out for all 3 piles, okay? So you definitely have this healing vibe, especially with the star being here and now the Hermit. You have the reputation of being somebody who is healing, very soothing. So people take to you, people are drawn to your energy, people like to be around you. So what's your reputation? What do we have here? We have the 7 of Pentacles. You do have the reputation of being someone who is meticulous, somebody who is dedicated, somebody who takes their time, okay? Somebody who invests, who goes above and beyond, okay? You're patient. You do have the reputation of being patient or even cautious because we have the Hermit card as well. What's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. What's your reputation? What do we have here? We have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles came out for all 3 piles as well. So just tells me that collectively you guys are very stable, reliable, trustworthy, dependable, okay? Extremely competent. You do have that reputation. I feel like initially people may doubt you because you're very attractive, very alluring. So they may think that you just have one side to you, or you're only capable of doing one thing and one thing well, but you're multifaceted and multi-talented here. So what's your reputation? We have the 5 of Pentacles. Like you have the reputation of being somebody who leaves people out in the cold. Like you have high standards for yourself. So not necessarily that you are going to betray people or leave them high and dry, but you do have the reputation of having like high standards for yourself, and you're not afraid of leaving people out in the cold if they're not in alignment with you. Just because you have a good heart doesn't mean that you're a fool. Like you're going to allow people to walk all over you. So what's your reputation? We have the 8 of Swords. You do have the reputation of being capable and like to handle yourself in challenging and difficult situation with the 8 of Swords. So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. What's your reputation? Okay, just one card, please, Spirit. What's your reputation? We have the Knight of Swords again. Yeah, being quick on your feet, mentally agile. Okay. Especially if you find yourself in a sticky situation, you do have that reputation of like being mentally agile. We have the Magician, Gemini and Virgo energy, versatile, capable. That's your reputation. Yeah, didn't I say that you are someone who has multiple skill sets and talents? Yeah, like because the magician is very resourceful, very capable. Okay. So what's your reputation? What's your reputation? What do we have here? No, just one card, please. What's your reputation? We have the High Priestess. Okay, Cancer energy. You do have the reputation of being mysterious, alluring with the High Priestess, but also extremely discerning. I have this inner knowing. Okay, it's kind of hard to pull the wool over your eyes. You do have that reputation. Ooh, you have the reputation of having like a big heart. You are pure hearted with the Six of Cups. But with this energy, you might even really be good with children. What's your reputation? What's your reputation? We have the Knight of Pentacles. You have the reputation of being dedicated, okay? Slow and steady, reliable, trustworthy, loyal. You do have that reputation, but you're very cautious with who you allow in your space, okay? And you have high standards for yourself, so you're not afraid of cutting people off if they're not in alignment with you. Just because you're passionate, you're driven, you're fun to be around, you're loving, doesn't mean that you don't have boundaries. So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. Like you could be all these great things and still have boundaries. There's nothing wrong with that. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, yeah, you definitely have the reputation of being able to get yourself out of sticky situation and come out on top. We have the Knight of Wands that flew out. You're bold. You're courageous. You're a self-starter. Okay. You're someone who takes the lead. You're passionate. Yeah, your passion is something that, you know, when people talk about you, that's how they describe you. Okay. So what's your reputation? We have the Queen of Cups again. Emotionally sovereign, very nurturing, loving energy. You do have the reputation of being forgiving, but I'm getting like, even if you forgive somebody, you're still going to cut them off with the Five of Swords. So what's your reputation? Just one card, please, Spirit. What's your reputation? We have the Knight of Pentacles again. The Knight of Pentacles came out twice for pile number 2, and now for you again, like twice or three. Is that the third time it comes out? No, it's the second time. Yeah, like you're methodical, dedicated, meticulous, loyal, but you also have the reputation of being cautious. Like, yes, you have that loving energy, but it's just not given to everybody. Okay. So what's your reputation? We have the Queen of Pentacles. Holy, we have the King and the Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Like you have the reputation of being like loyal, dedicated, dependable in like, but you're dependable, but you're also independent yourself. Like you could get things done. You do have the reputation of being someone who has the capability of like creating a very welcoming and soothing home for others. You have like a that motherly vibe to you with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, but we also have the King of Pentacles. So this is like a pair. You do have like, when you are in a relationship with somebody, you have the reputation of like going hard for that person, or like being extremely loyal. So people that fumble you, they feel it. Okay, there's a big, you have an impact on others. Like you do have the reputation of being impactful in other people's lives, or leaving a lasting impression on others. So what's your reputation? We have the Six of Pentacles. You do have the reputation of being extremely generous. Okay, very giving, very loving. Okay, you go above and beyond for others, but there is an imbalance though with the Six of Pentacles. You might be giving more than you are receiving at times. Okay, so that's all I have for you, my pile number 3. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in the next video, pile number 3. Bye.